Greetings and salutations, pumpkin friends. It's Chad here from Colorado Giants. Today is Tuesday, May 31st. End of the month. Hello, summer. Stay tuned for a general update. Since you're here, do yourself a favor and consider subscribing. We have riveting content every week that will help get you a girlfriend and make your wife want to spend more time with you. I guarantee it. I could also be lying through my teeth, but if you want to subscribe, go ahead. Couldn't hurt, you know. How many girls do you know that have acquaintances that grow giant pumpkins? It could set you out. You could be unique. Anyway, enough about that. We're talking about a general update today and a few things going on. One thing that I want to add and mention is that earlier in the week, I uploaded like 4 videos that I was behind on editing and putting onto the old YouTube. So go back and watch those if you haven't. There was last week's update, so we can get some size reference on the plants. But I did want to mention an addition to the irrigation video. I am not an irrigation expert, but Dan at Columbus Irrigation is. Dan is a pumpkin grower, and he's an irrigation expert. He helped me set this up, probably 7 years ago. And I just picked up the phone, gave him a call, explained to him what I wanted to do, how big my pumpkin patch was, and Dan said, I gotcha, I'm sending you a box. Call me with your credit card number or send me a check. Some good old-fashioned customer service there. So if you have any irrigation needs, highly recommend call Dan at Columbus Irrigation. He's your man. Currently, I am watering one section of the pumpkin patch, and I'm doing something that's kind of unique that I want to show you and tell you about. All these bubbles right here, I'm adding a wetting agent to the 2350 ginkgo plant. I just recently got that drip tape down, so because of that, I'm adding my wetting agent. Like we've talked about several times this year, step away from the loud pump. One of the goals is to do and add more water. And part of my strategy rather, is to use that wetting agent to take the water, which is, which can just hang out and set on top of the soil and drag it down. It's all bubbly because I have my recirculation pump on, and it's some sort of soap. I've heard online people use kitchen soap to act as their wetting agent, but I don't know. I feel like adding dish soap is not the right thing to do. I don't know. But that said wetting agent on it. It said for plants and garden use, so it's got to be good. So yeah, that's what I'm doing over there. So one obvious thing, let me flip you around and we'll talk about it. One obvious thing missing back here is the hoop house. If you watched last week's video, I had kept the hoop house on this one just to help this plant get a little bit further along with the CO2. I have kept the CO2. I will continue to run it, but I don't think it's going to add a whole lot because there's nothing to keep the CO2 that I'm injecting into this area in here. It's going to go everywhere. So once this tank is empty, I will remove the CO2 system and we'll call it good for the year. Sorry about the ambient noise. It's actually raining pretty good outside. I wish it was in here. So today, Tuesday on my day off, I got this down and I've probably put down, I don't know, we're at about 50 gallons. You can see once it's to that brace right there on my cone tank, that's 40 gallons, and then the mark above it is 50. So I've putting 100 gallons down just on this area, in addition to probably, I don't know, another 40 gallons or so when I was watering everybody. So I weeded this, I got this all done. It looks really good, and that plant, the 2350, is starting to have a little more giddy up and go, which I definitely like to see. So yeah, here is the 23, 2300, 23, whatever, I forget. 2300 and change wolf plant. It's looking pretty good. This is the one, again, that I'm going to grow like Mike Schmidt grows his plants. It's going to be the spider or waterfall. I forget what he calls it. But we're going to deadhead the pumpkin, hopefully, over there, and then pitchfork out the rest of the plant. This is looking good. The secondary vines are just kind of starting to go on this one. And I got the time lapse on there. I'm going to take both of those off, so there might be a time lapse video this week or ish. Download all that content and get it on there and reset the angles. Comment below what you would like to see. I found my third camera. Emily's favorite video is of a tendril, like wrapping around a bamboo pole. So I'm gonna do one of those. I think a good angle could be like wide angle lens, like right here, shooting down the plant, watching it grow from that angle. And that's why I left these hoops here too, if I want to hang a camera above them. Comment below if you think any one of those sounds interesting or not. Curious how that time lapse will go this year. And then last but not least, as for the plants, is the 1676 new. Still my biggest plant. Secondary vines on this guy are starting to eclipse the main vine. This I need to readjust to because I'm probably just out of angle on this time-lapse camera, so this one's coming down this week, and then we'll readjust. I might hang this one like from up here on this purling, so you get a full shot of everything. So it's looking pretty good. We're in June. You know, the biggest of the biggest guys want to be setting a pumpkin by mid-June. I think I have a chance to do that. Either mid to late June, but definitely my plants are big enough where I can achieve that June pollination. Let's talk about fertilizing real quick, and one thing that I'm doing new this year. The last thing that I want to leave you with is something that, you know, is hand in hand with what I've been talking about. My goals are this year is to do things better and be more thorough, etc., etc. So I got out my TDS meter that I've had for a few years actually, and I've just never used it. So I got that out, and I was testing my water straight out of my well. I'm at about 400 parts per million of stuff that's inside of there. At any point in the year, you want to be adding, you know, depending upon, you know, how you roll, 100 to 1,000 parts per million of additional stuff. So what does that mean? That means if I add this scoop in, I will be adding more dissolved solids or dissolved stuff, however it reads it. I don't know the fancy terms for it, but, you know, stuff in the water. When I add that, I'm adding stuff in the water, which this meter reads. I want to be adding, you know, roughly 200-ish parts per million of stuff in the water. Previous to today, I was adding, you know, probably per 50 gallons, like 2 or 3 scoops. Today I did my 2 or 3 scoops, and I measured it, and, you know, it didn't even move the needle. Reading the instructions on that, testing it out, what I then did was I filled up this entire beaker. So this is a 1 1/4 cup. That got me to where I wanted to be as far as my adding of stuff to the water, fertilizer to the water. So I was adding 3 scoops of this, when instead I need to be adding 1 of these. So I put my scoop in there, and that adds basically literally nothing. So for the last 7 years, I've been adding, you know, what that tells me rather is for the last 7 years, I've been vastly underfeeding my plants. You know, does that mean that I'm doing things wrong? No, not necessarily, but I think that I'm leaving pounds on the table. I'm not maximizing the plant's potential because they can eat, you know, 600 to 1,400 parts per million of stuff in the water. Again, I don't think that's the official term, but we'll just use stuff in the water. So if my ceiling is 600 or 1600 parts per million with stuff in the water, and I'm only doing, 200 or whatever my base is, plus a little bit, we'll say maybe 250, then I'm like, I'm starving my plants from nutrients. I can keep the plants healthy. They like what I give them, but as far as really pushing the fruit growth, that's where I think perhaps I'm coming up a little lacking. So we'll see if that works and helps this year. I would take you outside and show you the rest of what's going on out there, but it's raining and I don't want to get wet, if I'm being honest with you. I'm just going to hang out a little bit longer, let this last 40 gallons water in and soak in over there. Last thing, the drip line. Somebody asked last week, why am I only adding, drip lines sorry, I got a text message, I was just reading it. Why am I not adding drip lines all through there? Because I don't want to fertilize over there. I don't want to waste fertilizer over there. The root zone is just located here and will continue to move out. So I'm putting some fertilizer ahead of the plant, but I don't need to, worry about this. I do have my impact sprinkler still out here to put down water, but I don't need to put down fertilizer. So with that being said, that is it. Comment below if you have any questions. Share the video and the channel with a friend. Help us get to, 1,500 subscribers this year. That'd be sweet. I think that's all I got for you this week. Appreciate you watching. Get out there, grow yourself. Giant pumpkin. Here we have the 1676 New and the 2365 Wolf and the 2350 Ginger.